Good morning everyone and welcome to Big OGGIE Golf. It's a bright and sunny, absolutely beautiful morning here. I say morning, it's about 10 to 12. I'm due to tee off at 12. I've just nipped back to the car so I can do this quick video. It's beautiful out but it's a little bit breezy and I've only got my camera phone on me today. So audio would be awful if I tried doing this outside the car. Shame because I could top up my tan or continue being a lobster, which is usual. It normally happens with me. However, I am at West Cornwall Golf Club. It's Wednesday and it's comp day. Now, I didn't play in the comp last week, but I had a lot of fun and just relaxed and enjoyed myself. Tried out the new 2-iron and things went pretty well. But today, I guess I better go in the comp. So the weather is perfect, slight breeze, but for here, that's nothing. No excuses today, really, I guess. But I don't really care. At the moment, as much as we've been saying with the OGGIE overhaul and with me wanting to try and get my handicap down to a reasonable level, there is some kind of pressure about trying to get those scores lower. But in the grand scheme of things, it's just golf and I'm just having fun. And if I take the equation of trying to get that handicap down out of my mind and just relax more, maybe I'll just play better golf. It happened at Formby at the golf day. It's happened recently as well when I've just been playing for fun. Hang on. Oh, I have eyes. So I think for now I'm just going to play. I'm just going to play, not worry about the score, see what score is at the end. And what will be, will be. I'm going to be a lot more confident. I am more confident ever since the golf day, to be honest. I've grown in confidence. And my wife and I were actually watching an earlier video today. One of the ones that I did for I think it was bunker practice with Matt. I've had some awful problems with bunkers the last two weeks, so I went back and re-looked at one of my videos. Handy when you got your own videos to look at. And even in that I was just lacking confidence. And she said, that is your life, that's what you're like in life. And I actually said to her, I said, well, the thing is, if you kind of lack confidence, if you think it's not going to work and it does, woohoo, it's kind of exciting. But if you expect, oh, it's going to work every time and it doesn't, kind of disappointing. So life can end up being a disappointment. But I'm going to try and change that. I'm going to play more consistently and play stronger. Play more positive, especially my wedges. My wedges have always been too short and just too safe. So let's just go for it today. And I said, see what happens. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. So I'll take a couple little pictures on the course when I get out there. So it's actually, I know this is England, so when I say blistering hot, people in other parts of the world are going to laugh. But for an early summer or late spring day, this is beautiful. So there'll be a hat on, there'll be suntan stuff on, got plenty of water and things in the bottles. I'm now drinking fruit tea, gone a bit healthy. I'm also on a bit of a strange, well, not strange. I'm actually fasting quite a lot at the moment. My wife's gone on to like a 7-hour fast where you basically can only eat at certain times of the day and then the rest of the day you don't. So that's just about to finish. So if I'm quick, I can go and get myself something to eat before I go out and play. But I've got myself a couple of little pizza breads with some salad in to take with me on the course. Lucky thing about having a big golf bag is you can take food. So at least I'll be able to eat for the 4 or 5 hours that I'm playing. So question for today is, because I'm about to put the 2-iron in my bag and it's going in the bag, whatever happens. Question is, first of all, I need to take something out. So do you tinker with your clubs all the time? Do you change things all the time? I know people that I play, and quite regularly they're going, oh, today I'm trying out another putter I've had in my bag, in my golf locker for ages. Or I've got this old driver out, I'm going to give that a try. So how many times do you do this? For me, it hasn't happened very often of late. As most of you know, I'm a carer, so money is hard to come by. I've got pretty decent clubs already because I'm an artist and I sold a couple of paintings a couple of years ago and I used that money to buy my equipment. So, it's pretty well up to date. So this year, nothing has really changed, except I won the 2-iron. Woohoo! So that's now going in the bag. My decision is, at the moment, although I haven't discussed it properly with Matt, we had a very quick chat about it the other day, is I either have to remove one of my wedges. I've got a pitching wedge, a 50, a 55 and a 60. And currently the 55 isn't really being used. My go-to wedge tends to be a 50 for everything. And my 60 I use to get out of bunkers. So right or wrong, at the moment, the 55 is not getting any use at all. Or I take out the other longer club in my arsenal, which is basically my fairway wood. And my fairway wood is a kind of 5 wood. It's around about that sort of degree. It's not a 3. But I'm still struggling with woods off the floor. And I much prefer irons. Or I feel I much prefer irons. I don't know the statistics for it, but at least in my own mind, that's what I feel is working better. And I've got a 4 hybrid. I've got a 3 iron, and now I've got the 2 iron. So I'm pretty much covered in those kind of distances. So I think at the moment, let's take out the longer club. Let's take out the fairway wood. And in the fullness of time over the next few weeks, I'll have a chat with Matt and we'll discuss which thing to actually take out most of the time. So what have you changed in your bag before the season started? Have you done major changes to everything? Or are you just swapping over a couple of clubs that you've just lost confidence in? Okay, so I'm going to get going. Quick warm up. Maybe go and stand in the bunker and try getting out of that a few times. Although, to be honest, the one at West Cornwall was so deep, I've never got out of it yet in the practice ground. Not properly, anyway. But maybe going to do a bit of practice there. And then slap the suntan lotion on, get a hat on, get ready to play. I'll let you all know what happens, but it doesn't really matter. See you in a little while. Okay, so that was the end of the round at West Cornwall today. Let's get in the car and I'll go through it with you. I'll go through some of it with you. Some of it's not good for viewing. Okay, back in the room, or back in the car. What happened? Well, like I said, the weather was perfect. No complaints on the weather whatsoever, except it was a bit warm. Arrived and our usual 4-ball all kind of got together. We assumed it was Stableford, and then we found out last minute it was Medal. One of our people actually said he was thinking of not bothering to play because Medal is not the way to play for high handicappers. Oh well. Anyway, we persuaded him to play. He did pretty well, actually, I think. And we all had a go. Off the white tees. So it's the second time this year I've played off the whites. And it's the first time I've ever played in a medal comp. It just seems to be that predominantly now most of the comps are Stableford. So what happened? It was fairly hit and miss. I felt really disappointed. However, my score at the end was 101, which sounds awful. But when I work out, I was 31 handicap, and it's a 69 average round, I guess, you're supposed to have. I'm one over my handicap, which actually, in the end, in the fullness of time, wasn't too bad. But what happened? Well, after the little bit of fun we had at the very start when I was saying about I was going to get some bunker practice, I think I ended up in more bunkers today than I've ever done. I think I ended up in 6. Out of 5 of them, first shot, which is great, except for the par 3 on the 15th, where I actually hit a good tee shot, but it was just short of the green, went straight into the bunker, right in the face. If I'd have thought about the new rules, I probably could have taken the ball out of the bunker and dropped it back for 2 shots. But no, I did what everyone tries to do and tried to get it out. That didn't work. It didn't work again. It didn't work again. Eventually the ball landed into a spot in the bunker where I could get it out, and I got it out, but that was a really bad hole in the end. I think I ended up with an 8 on a par 3. These things happen, I guess. And the nature of playing stroke play here, or playing medal, is that it's a tough links course. It really is. 3 off a tee on one hole where we just couldn't find the ball in some rough, and it just felt like normal rough, but you couldn't find it. So I had to go back and do 3 off a tee, and actually didn't do too badly on that hole, considering. And so many of us today, we're struggling. The scores should have been fine, but this course is tough. It's not the longest, but accuracy, I've said all the time, accuracy is key. And if you're not accurate, you are in real deep trouble. And I said, normally with Stableford, okay, you blob the hole, you get on the next one. With this, you're just under so much pressure all the time. So, but there were some good things. Good things were, 2 iron is really good still. 17th hole, if you play here, longest par 3 we've got in the course, uphill. I hit it within 2 feet and tapped it in for a 2. So, although my full score wasn't that great today, I'm in the 2s, first time ever, so that'll be something. So, what did I learn from today? First of all, health-wise, I need to get fitter, pretty obviously, really. And the warm weather didn't help anybody today. So 2 litres of water is not enough. Found that out. Okay. So I'll be taking more. Luckily, I've got a bigger bag now. But it's one of those things you're not prepared for. I am now. Fatigue setting a little bit. Next thing, the best thing to do about bunkers is not get in them at all. So maybe a bit of course management and a little bit of luck sometimes would be needed. Thirdly, yeah, I didn't need the fairway wood. The 2-iron is cracking. Never really hit it at all today. A couple of times it probably didn't go the distance it normally would have done, but it did no worse than my 5-iron, and it was pretty straight. So at the moment, my go-to 2 clubs now are my 5-iron and my 2-iron. So that was really good. Driver wasn't bad, actually. I think I had one vaguely duff shot, but it's just one of those ones where the ball basically went up in the air really high like a giant wedge. Sometimes I'd see the ball up a little bit high. What else happened? Putting needs some work. There was a lot of 3 putts from long distances today, so I think me and a couple of the other lads are going to go back out again at some point and do a proper putting practice. It's one of those things you just don't do very often. Yeah, you do all the driver practice, you do all the practice of everything else, but you kind of forget that you lose more scores from putts than anywhere else. And what else? Well, the other thing I learned today was sometimes it's just nice to go out and play. It doesn't really matter about the score. Okay, 101 sounds blooming awful for me. But maybe I have high expectations at times, and maybe, like I said, first time off the whites and it's a lot longer and just seems so much more difficult from certain holes. Sometimes my expectations are more than I think. And when you end up with a full score and you check it all off, it wasn't really that bad. So, time to relax, go home, have a rest, whack this little video together and put it out. Not really have a rethink. Everything went fairly well. I said my irons are pretty well connected today. 2-iron is certainly staying in the bag. Just one of them days. You know, typical links golf. Sometimes you're just unlucky. Sometimes you hit really good shots and they bounce off somewhere and you lose the ball. It's what happens. So, thanks so much for watching. Still confident, still absolutely confident, no problems whatsoever. Just a bit of a hot day. And one of those days. We'll strike it off and come back next week. Bye for now, everybody.